Giving Tuesday is a global generosity movement, and Arrow wants to help inspire collective generosity as a way to build the world we want to live in. One where abuse victims and survivors are able to proceed with their futures scot-free from their abuses, woes, and tortures. Sharing from the heart is the theme of this year's Giving Tuesday event because we want to create a connection between you and our volunteers, many of whom have a personal connection to the cause. Our event will focus on sharing some of the reasons why we've chosen to volunteer, specifically with Arrow, as well as some of our personal experiences with abuse. The reality is, most of us have either survived or know someone who has been a victim of some kind of abuse. There can be a lot of power in sharing your story with people who you are close to, but you may find it is also helpful to talk to someone who is more removed from the situation, or even to share your story publicly, like we're doing with this event. Sharing from the heart to us means that we are saying it's okay to speak up. We hear you, we are here for you, and you are not alone. Hopefully our stories inspire you to support our mission and share your story on your own in a safe and a supportive space. First and foremost, I volunteer with Arrow because I want to make an impact and give back in a meaningful way. I choose to volunteer specifically with Arrow because of what they are trying to accomplish in building a worldwide community focused on breaking the cycle of abuse through education and support. As a survivor of physical, sexual, psychological, narcissistic, child, financial, and self-abuses, and a witness to all of these in addition to spousal and elderly abuses, spreading awareness and offering a refuge to those who are trying to escape their tormentors is something that is near and dear to my heart. As a volunteer, I am able to use skills I already had in previous careers in order to help fundraise towards this cause. The community within Arrow is incredibly supportive and uplifting, and despite broaching a topic that's quite serious, I get to work with people all over the world towards this common goal. Arrow has changed my life, and it will change so many people's lives. It's not uncommon for abuse victims and survivors to stay silent, even after they've escaped their tormentors, because of the layer of fear that exists in sharing their stories. Will they be seen as weak to have allowed the abuse to happen? Will they be seen as needy for asking for help? Will they be dismissed because what they experienced isn't as bad as someone else's experience? Will people tell them how it's just the world we live in and they need to be stronger? Will their abuser return and inflict worse torment? All of these thoughts go through a victim's mind, and if the tiniest shred of doubt exists, they stay quiet and isolated. It takes an unthinkable amount of trust and vulnerability to motivate a survivor of abuse to disclose their experiences, because the last time the survivor trusted someone, they were abused. As a result, it takes even more inner strength to be willing to open up and share their story due to past consequences of being vulnerable. Abuse often leaves the survivor feeling powerless. In a survivor's attempt at self-preservation and to maintain the smallest shred of power, they put up walls that prevent the vulnerability and deny trust to all. What more abuse survivors need to be told repeatedly is how strong, capable, and resilient they are. Because truthfully, anyone who is watching this video who has survived abuse is courageous. When we empower those who feel powerless, we give them a safe space to share their story. Layer on society's lack of language and understanding of abuse, making it difficult as a victim to share your story due to the fear of being misunderstood. This fear comes from two sources. First, you are uncertain surrounding your ability to properly portray your experiences. Will I say the right things? Second, feeling understood requires that the person you are telling to have a knowledge to respond in a supportive way. While we are making great strides particularly at Arrow, to increase awareness and education of different types of abuse, comprehension is not universal. When you don't know someone else's experience or understanding of abuse, it makes it that much scarier to share your personal experience of abuse with them. No matter where you're at on your healing journey, the ignorance of others can still be painful. Validation is the first step in breaking the cycle of fear and isolation. When we react with skepticism, blame, or defensiveness, the fears and paranoia nurtured and reinforced by the abuser are validated instead of the victim's experiences, essentially re-traumatizing the survivor. It is important to keep in mind that another person's reaction is not a reflection of you or your experience. Rather, it reflects their own perception and the information or misinformation they've received. When you start to feel stigmatized, your thoughts may gravitate towards an unhelpful place. Remember that your emotions surrounding your abuse experience and those you feel as a result of sharing your story are all valid, but also recognize the importance of identifying how helpful or unhelpful they can be. What happened to you wasn't your fault and you didn't deserve it. Unfortunately, when you finally bring yourself to share your story, not everyone is going to respond the way you need. Possibly even more important than the initial act of willingness to share your story is the willingness to keep sharing your story. Harmful words and reactions can sometimes wound or even trigger us, but they don't define us or have the power to sway us from our journey. Recognize that you can't control other people's reactions. No matter the social stigmas or ignorant opinions out there, you get to decide your story. You can choose who you share your story with, and you can choose how comfortable you are with what details you share of your story. And it's okay to let others know what type of support you need. There are many benefits to sharing your story, including acknowledging the truth, lifting the weight of the terrible events of your past off your shoulders, and getting the help you need to move forward in your life free from your tormentors. Sharing your story has a greater impact than that just on yourself as well. If you open yourself up to sharing your story and your resilience, you will provide hope and encouragement to the silent survivor. Through your example, others will feel safe enough and emboldened enough to break their silence and seek help, no matter the criticism they may come across. Arrow celebrates your courage.
Hi, I'm Zainab, and I'm a volunteer at Abuse Refuge Org, or Arrow, and I've been a volunteer at Arrow for over a month now as a norm therapy intake specialist and a corporate admin coordinator.
Hi, my name is Julia, and first of all, I would like to share my story why I decided to join Arrow. To be honest, first I was just looking for an opportunity to volunteer or to perform some internship. But then I saw an Arrow's application. It was one of the first ones, and I didn't want to look at any others because I just felt that was it. I went through the website and I was so impressed by the Arrow's mission. So impressed. I can't even find the words to describe this. It is so amazing. Just this feeling that you're a part of something bigger. That is actually meant to help other people to change their lives for better. And this is you who are doing something for that with your skills, with the knowledge you possess. This is amazing, and this is what is motivating me right now. Frankly speaking, I can say that I can name myself an abuse survivor. Maybe I'm not mature enough or just can't admit that I experienced abuse. I don't know, but I would say that I'm not an abuse survivor, even though that I'm coming from the country where many people experienced abuse, and unfortunately I met a lot of people who experienced it, but I'm so impressed by them because they're living or they're trying to live a happy life, overcoming all the challenges and difficulties in their lives. And this is what I want to do. I want to help people to find their own way to overcome any difficulties and any challenges they're facing, to live happy and fulfilling life.
Hi, I'm Whitney. So I chose to volunteer for Arrow because I really liked their message that they're sending on trying to educate people on forms of abuse. I think it's very important because it's something that anyone can experience. There's no type of person who is more likely or less likely to get abused. That's something I truly believe. I know me and a lot of other people I know have been in situations where we were abused in some way. So I think that's like very important, and I know it's like a cause that like a lot of like women and men and children and a lot of people can really relate to and resonate with and care about. And I think it's absolutely great that we're putting all these resources and people together to really try to educate and provide relief for victims of abuse. As a journalist, I get to write on many different kinds of abuse, and I really like my job because I get to educate myself on different forms of abuse while also educating the public. So it really broadens my own mind, as well as I'm sure anyone who's like come across our articles, and I know the rest of the departments are doing their own things to try to like bring our message and what we're trying to do forward. So I think it's really great. That's one of the reasons why I would pick this organization over, say, another one. There's many great organizations out there, but I like how this is very broad but yet focused. Like, it doesn't go on just one specific thing. However, it's not like super broad, like all human rights, for example, right? It's just abuse, which is broad enough that I think a lot of people can really resonate it with it, but it doesn't get overwhelming. So, and besides that and what we do, I love volunteering at Arrow because the team is so nice. We have absolutely great members. Everyone's very friendly, easy to talk to, and it's just a very good community. So if you're looking to like volunteer with us, I couldn't recommend a better experience, honestly. So.
Hi everyone, this is Sudha. I'm volunteer at ARO. I came across ARO LinkedIn page and I have applied for the position, and currently I am working in finance department as a volunteer, and it is super exciting working with ARO, trust me, because the cause they are working for, like helping out people who are survivors of abuse, or people who are not able to speak about, or people who are not able to realize that they are being abused. That is something which I can say noble cause. Though I'm not an abuse survivor personally, touch wood, but still I know I can have that. I know how people will be if they are going through the trauma, and how it will be like if no one is there to hear about you, or no one can understand what you are going through. That is one of the pathetic situation anyone can go through in their life. So if at all you know anyone who is going through such phase, ARO is always there to hear you out, or they can provide you their helping hand. So don't be shy, don't be afraid that someone is going to think bad about it. Speak out, bring that out, and we are always there for. And this is my testimony. What's yours?
Hello everyone, my name is Nicole Leonard and I am the HR hiring manager here at Abuse Refuge Org. I'm going to be sharing a little bit of how I found Arrow and what I love so much about it. So I found Arrow through a good old classic job search. I wasn't even looking for a volunteer opportunity or a nonprofit experience, but I was definitely intrigued by the opportunity to commit my time to something with such a worthy cause. So I think I just expected to stay here for a couple of months and build my skills, learn some new things, and eventually move on to another job. But that's definitely not what happened. I, for my first week, just completely fell in love with it and knew that I didn't want to leave. And over the last 10 months, I've seen so much growth happen within Arrow that it is unreal, and just seeing how far the mission has spread so quickly is absolutely incredible to be a part of, and just the people are absolutely amazing. I have learned so much from everyone that I've worked with, talked with, interviewed with, and there's just nothing that compares to this experience. I've definitely learned that the people who have been through the worst, most horrific situations are often the kindest-hearted people because they know what it's like to be in these abusive situations. And ultimately, that is what we want to do, is help people to get out of those situations and be able to move forward with their lives. So working with a team of people who are so passionate and so kind-hearted has been just absolutely wonderful, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Hello, my name is Margarita and I'm a volunteer at Arrow. I found them in the webpage of Volunteer Match, and after getting to know about their purpose, I wanted to contribute to their impact they are willing to make in the society. Also, I think that it's very rewarding when you do something for someone else, and volunteering is a way of giving meaning to your life. So I decided to join them, and after getting involved in the organization, I got to know there are a lot of types of abuse. And in my case, I could say that I was victim of narcissistic people. Also, I suffer from psychological abuse, and I think the support they are willing to give to the victims is very important as well as needed.
Hi everyone, my name is Mandy. I am a volunteer journalist and proofreader for Abuse Refuge Org, and I wanted to take a moment to share a little bit of my story and why I started Arrow. I started Arrow just looking for a freelancing position to really build up my resume and my portfolio as a journalist, and I really wanted to work for an organization that really fit into what I try to build up within my community already. So I am actually a yoga teacher and Reiki practitioner, and I specialize and really find a little niche within the community dealing with trauma and abuse and really healing from the inside out. So Arrow was really such a beautiful fit into what I was already doing in my community, and to reach others on a global scale was really prominent and such a beautiful opportunity that Kelly has given so many of us to help others and share our story. And I truly believe the more individuals that share their story will give others strength to do that as well. So here at Arrow, we are constantly posting different blogs and resources for individuals to educate themselves on so many different types of abuse and to really bring awareness to the subject that can be very difficult for us to speak about. So we are here to bring bravery and strength to others to share their story or talk with a friend or a family member about their experiences. And with our development of norm therapy, it's going to be such a beautiful process to help individuals heal from the inside out and then in turn help others. And for me personally, I have come to Arrow not only to help others, but also help myself as well. And it's really been such a healing experience to share our story in our blogs and our articles, to really help individuals know that they are not alone. And coming from different types of abuse myself, such as narcissistic abuse and organizational abuse and bullying, there's many different aspects that can go into those. So we are here to educate others, and it has really been truly such an amazing experience. And we cannot wait to share more information with you as we continue to grow. So we do encourage you to donate if you can, or just visit our resources and just educate yourself and start that conversation with your friends and family.
Hi, I'm Madison Jacob, LGBTQIA+ coordinator at the Abuse Refuge Organization. A while ago, I was looking for jobs on LinkedIn, and one day I saw listing for a social media volunteer. I've always had a passion for social causes, and now that I was outside college, it seemed like a great way to get involved again. I really appreciate Arrow's attitude towards flexibility and getting people where they'd be best. During the interview, I was actually offered the coordinator role, even though it's not what I applied to, simply due to my experience and interests. And of course, I jumped at the opportunity. Both my personal experience as part of the LGBT plus community and having many friends who have also struggled in the community, I feel like it's imperative that we improve access and quality of care. And having a role in that I find extremely fulfilling. I also appreciate that Arrow is making this effort towards inclusivity so early in the organization in existence. Like with startups, diversity in the foundation really helps improve the health and inclusivity of the organization down the line. I'm happy to be part of Arrow, and thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is Luna, and I'm from Mexico City. I would like to share my testimony why I become an Arrow volunteer. I decided to be a part of Arrow because it is an international organization that focuses on supporting victims of abuse. In my house, one of my sisters is a clinical psychologist, and her work is direct with victims for the government of Mexico City, one of the main countries with the highest number of femicides in the world. So by listening to the testimonies, I have understood how deep is this social problem and how important it is to establish circles of support that gives victims alternatives to receive help. The more I get involved in Arrow, the more I became aware of moments or situations in my life that I have testified abusive situations. Within my culture, the machismo hides behind the excuse of established roles in a family, and this opens the door to abusive behavior. I'm still trying to work on it, as I feel that the close abuse I have witnessed is more of a narcissist abuser.
Hello, my name is Lucy, and I've been volunteering for Arrow for about a month now. I found out about the opportunity over on a game I play via a blog post, and I've been working with them ever since. I really like Arrow, and I was initially drawn to Arrow because they are an abuse refuge that provides healthcare for not just one, but multiple types of abuse, which I think is essential in healing and properly getting better. I also really appreciate Arrow because they hire mostly females, trans and cis alike. This is my testimony. What's yours?
Hi, my name is Kim, and I am an abuse survivor. From early childhood traumas which led to abusive adult relationships, the last being spent 8 years with a narcissist who had used my story to convince me that I was worthless. And there were several key influences contributing to my courage in leaving him. One of them was in hearing another survivor's story of how she turned her life around to thriving. I was attending a charity event where I felt as if her words spoke directly to my soul. It helped me to remember who I truly was at the core of my being. And now here I stand several years later as a successful entrepreneur who made it a part of my mission to help other survivors remember their worth too. And that is my why for volunteering with Abuse Refuge. I have always enjoyed volunteering throughout my life, but none have been as significant, challenging in a good way, powerful, and as meaningful as with Abuse Refuge. To know that trauma victims have a safe place to receive a hand up fills my heart with so much love for Arrow's mission, and I'm truly grateful to be one of the many wonderful volunteers. This is my testimony. What's yours?
Hello everyone, I'm Francesca. I'm volunteering at Arrow. How did I find out about Arrow? I was looking for an organization to give my free time to volunteer, and Arrow had excellent opportunities for my field, and plus I got to discover them and what Arrow does. And I really appreciate how Kelly was able to turn something not pleasant that happened in her life into an opportunity to help others who, like her, are survivors of abuses. Myself, I experienced myself some kind of abuse, and also I witnessed that. So I know people who are victim of abuses. I believe that when we say this word abuse, we misunderstand it. We think it's about physical abuse merely, but it's not just that. It's much more than that. And abuse, it's everywhere. It's at work, it's in our families, it's everywhere basically. And we need to, sometimes we are too busy with our lives that we are not self-aware enough, not mindful enough in order to be able to detect signs of abuse up until when they become too extreme. So in this sense, what to do better than spend some free time I have to volunteer for an organization who has such a social impact. And it's an amazing environment. If you have free time, come in and help us building a better world, and have impact on people who suffered from abuses. Bye.
Hello, my name is Clarissa and I'm a fundraising supervisor at Arrow. I volunteer at Arrow because I believe in Arrow's mission. Arrow provides therapy to people who need it, and they can move forward and better their lives. Arrow is a place that uplifts and supports, and they are a beacon of light to many.
Hello, my name is Anju, and I have recently joined Arrow as a part of training and development team. What I like most about Arrow is its sheer determination to work with the victims of abuse and abuse survivors. I was personally drawn towards their mantra, which is breathing life into those who actually need it the most. There is nothing more rewarding than going back home knowing the fact that you have made difference in somebody's life. This has been my dream since a long time, and Arrow has made me realize it. Thank you for making me a part of your team, Arrow. I am truly indebted to you for what you have done for me. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone. I am volunteering as HR admin supervisor at Arrow. I love to help people. It gives me inner peace to see that needy people receives help and breathe life. That's what Arrow do, breathe life, and that's what I love about it. The reason I joined Arrow is because I grew in an environment where children and especially women were abused in different ways. In traditional culture of Afghanistan, women, they didn't have freedom of speech, they were tortured, they were forced to have marriage at young age, they even didn't have freedom of education, and also not having any basic rights. Right now, the dark-minded people captured back that country. They made the situation worse for the women and all for the children and for all the poor people of Afghanistan. Females are not allowed to go to school, to go to work, or even to go out of home alone. It's very hard. It's very hard for a human to not have their basic rights, to not have any freedom at the country that they are living in. I already feel their pain, all the pain that they are going through now. Arrow has a great mission of helping abuse victims, and I'm proud that I'm a part of that and having contribution in achievement of the Arrow's mission. I hope one day I could be able to help my people as well through Arrow. I wish you best of luck, Arrow. I personally really appreciate what you're doing for all those needy people and all those abuse victims. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much once again. And thank you everybody for watching this video. Have a great day. Stay safe and sound. Bye bye.
Hi, my name is Elena Dugard. I am a corporate admin at Arrow, and I am just submitting my video, kind of telling a little bit of background, and having to pertain to Giving Tuesday as well. So I chose to volunteer at Arrow because I was looking for what my next role would be, and I wanted to kind of do some more administrative executive assistant work. And as I was looking through, I found Arrow, and I liked what their message was, and so I decided to apply. And basically, I guess why I didn't choose like another company or another nonprofit was because I resonated a lot with, again, their message, but I think that throughout my life, I've also been around a lot of strong women who have endured abuse. I myself have endured abuse, and I want to be a part of something and do a job that I'm actually proud of, that I'm passionate about, where I'm making a difference, where I'm helping people in a roundabout way. And that's what Arrow provides. It provides a space for you to actually grow as an individual. And I think a lot of times within like education and then just like the professional fields after you go and get your college or your GED, it's very heavily pushed on you to get a job in the corporate world and kind of become a robot and catatonic. And with Arrow, I actually enjoy the work that I do and the people that I work with and alongside, because they're actual people that care about you and who you are and what you do and how you feel. And so that's why I picked Arrow. And I think that's something that kind of became my reasoning within like the weeks that I started working there. But I think initially what sold it for me was definitely the face of the company, as Kelly interviewed me, and it was pretty much a no-brainer after our interview that this is where I was meant to be, and this was going to be a company that helped me grow as an individual, even professionally, but personally as well, which is something that's a rarity in this day and age.
When you help others, your life starts to have a meaning. By helping others, you will receive inner peace. That's why today I'm working as a volunteer in Abuse Refuge Organization as a fundraising manager. I have witnessed a lot of people being abused through different kinds of abuses, either physically or psychologically, with no help, no support. They have been victims through years. They have been suffering in silence. I found Arrow focusing on 10 major areas of abuses, not only physically or psychologically, by helping them to turn to survivors by creating a unique program called as Norm Therapy. Focus on the future, forget the past, free from abuse, and build life.
Thank you so much to our sponsors Run Up app, Amazon Smile, and Clean Juice in Melbourne, Florida. The Run Up app allows individuals to donate the change of their credit or debit card transactions to support Arrow. Donors can pick how they want to donate by rounding their change, giving a set amount, or giving a one-time gift. Amazon Smile is a simple way for you to support Arrow every time you shop at no cost to you. For both Run Up and Amazon Smile, search and select Abuse Refuge Inc. as your charity. More details of how to sign up using both of these platforms are in the video descriptions. Special thanks to Steve Wright and Clean Juice for donating 50% of his storage sales in Melbourne, Florida for purchases made today in November 13, 2021. We greatly appreciate his donation. If you're able to donate through Run Up app, Amazon Smile, or directly on our webpage, we greatly appreciate your support. Abuse Refuge Org wants to penetrate and overwhelm every aspect, from recognition to treatment, staffing, and guidance throughout the abuse care industry. Arrow's goal is not to reinvent the wheel but to identify the metrics, reorient existing components, and define an ameliorated journey towards recovery and wellness. Your support will help us to continue to develop and provide norm therapy, services free of charge to abuse victims and survivors, as we strive to grant clarity of the past and present to them so that they can proceed on a more manageable path towards freedom from their abuse, woes, and tortures. Please visit goarrow.org and click on Donate the upper right-hand corner to make a pledge with us to stop the cycle of abuse. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Please share our video to help spread awareness about Abuse Refuge Org and our mission to build a worldwide community focused on breaking the circle of abuse through education and support. Let's celebrate worldwide generosity and come together by sharing acts of kindness and giving our voice, time, money, goods, and advocacy to support communities and causes like Arrow. Breathe life.